what's up? What's going on, my peeps, my peoples? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Anyways, I just want to say what's up, see how you guys doing. Today was like a crazy day. Went on some crazy hiking, and being in the woods, being in the forest, being with Mother Nature. It was crazy. So, anyways, let's talk about your girl Hazel E. What happened to Hazel E? OMG. That so far, we have learned today that Hazel E has been let go from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So Hazel E will not be returning to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood at all. Like, it's over, it's done with. She has been dissed and dismissed. And they're saying that she wasn't dissed and dismissed because of what she said about, dark-skinned black girls, or, her rhetoric towards gay people. So she's been dismissed because production was tired of her. Didn't want anything to do with Hazel E at all. So they let her go. They dismissed her. Like, she's gone, so we won't be seeing her next season. That's what the stories report. That's what TMZ, Hollywood Street King, and all these other sites are reporting that Hazel E has been let go from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And also, in other news, we have Gabrielle Union doing an interview talking about eating booty is the thing. Don't be afraid to eat the booty. I was like, yo, why is Gabrielle Union talking about eating booty? But I guess it's the times where no matter how famous you are, no matter where you get in society, you know, you got to talk about that sex. You got to talk about eating that booty. I was like, yo, that's crazy. So it seems like Hazel E has been dismissed from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And they're saying it's not because of her rhetoric and her comments towards, the homosexual community or gays, or actually going against, dark skinned females. Actually, they said that she was actually supposed to be she was let go on October 4th before any of her rhetoric came out. So maybe this is the reason why she came out with these stories and saying what she did say, and how dismissive, and how, she hit out that prejudice, that divide, that separation type information. Well, she's gone. She's not going to be in Love and Hip Hop Hollywood anymore. So I wonder if, her little young man, her little Rose Burgundy in the closet, out the closet, might be leaving Hazel E because, it's not beneficial to be with her anymore if she's not on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And how are they going to get attention? So I guess this is their last form of attention. If this is actually true, these are what the blogs are reporting, that Hazel E is gone from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And, I guess a lot of people is going to say good riddance is good for you. See you later. Because not only did Hazel E continue to divide the black community with light skin, dark skin, red bone, brown bone, the melanated people, but she also threw in, her gay rhetoric and hating against, gay people, and talking about, they all need to leave this earth because it's against the Bible. It's against what the religion people teach. What's in the Holy Bible, the King James Version, baby. So that's what Hazel E was talking about. And so now it's just sad that she's lost, and she doesn't know who herself is. She doesn't know what self is, because it's one thing that you got to realize, even though, a lot of people may not agree with the gay community at all, or feel like, turning their head, or, scattering away from the gay community. But if you gay and you black, what comes first before being gay? Black. Even if you are a transsexual or transgender, what happens is they look at your skin first, and then everything else comes next. So it's like our community has been divided so many different ways, especially with, upper class, middle class, the have-nots of the black community as well. But if you have a lot, you can still face mistreatment. You can still face racism and prejudice people, because look at Colin Kaepernick. Look at all the other celebrities and stars that do have money, do come from a background of money, and they still get treated like the average Tyrone and Tanika of the community. So it's like, we got to stop separating, oh, just because this person's gay, she's gay, he's gay, oh, I don't want to affiliate myself with them. Nah, we still black, we still got the same color, we still got the same melanin, we still get treated the same in certain places where people will lock their doors, people will put soon you walk by their car, they'll hit the lock button on their car and they'll grab their pocketbooks and clutch them tight, or they across the street if you're walking on the same side of the street that they're on. So it's like, let's stop trying to divide our community. Let's stop trying to divide the black people. Let's stop trying to divide people with melanin in their skin. Let's stop trying to divide, our ancestors and our peoples and our families. It doesn't matter if the person is gay or straight. You know what? When the police see them, when the criminal justice see them, when the judges see them, you know what they see first? They don't see a human being. They see a black human being. They see a black person, a black woman, a black man, a black gay man, a black gay female. That's what they see. So, we got to love each other, and we got to protect each other, and we got to be there for each other, because so many different communities stick together, and it's just like we still have that divide and separate type of atmosphere and type of behavior that goes on, that we separate each other. And once we can come together, God knows how beautiful and wonderful that will be. But everybody can't be invited and to get together, because there's just some people that don't understand, there's some people that are just ignorant. But sometimes you can teach and sometimes you can't teach people, but it is what it is in that situation. And it seems like Hazel E has, she wrote a check that her ass can't cash, and she would not be on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood the next season. So that's what they're saying. So she can make all the apologies and she can make all the statements that she want to state, but now she needs to find a new avenue. She needs to find a new revenue of money. She needs to find a new stream of money. She needs to find new people to believe in her and support her, because word on the street was that her and Mona Scott were friends. And, Hazel E helped with the production of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and actually by getting half of the cast members together to do the first season of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So it seems like, the coon has came to roast, and it is what it is. And then also on top of that, Hazel E put her mother out there on a chopping block, like, whoa. So it's like, yo, how you do that? Why you do that? So it just seems like Hazel E, she needs help. And it's sad to see that she's a young woman. She's not in her she's not in her 40s or her 50s or whatever. She's in her early 30s. And just to see that her mindset, that she's not together, that she's not as savvy as she claims to be, that she doesn't really have knowledge of self. She doesn't have knowledge of who she is and where she comes from. And she doesn't understand like the different syndromes and the different prejudice that happen in the African American community, and also people with melanin community, that there is a divide and conquer. Once you can divide, you can conquer, because you can conquer each and little section of a community and destroy it as well. Instead of talking about dark-skinned girls hating on her, you know what? Try to raise money for the Michigan water. Try to raise money for the missing DC girls, because there's still no information on what's going on with the missing DC girls. Like, I'm hearing like noises and creaks. I'm trying to make sure there's no skunks, no deers, no bears, no foxes coming up behind me trying to attack me while I'm live. So yeah, it just seems like it's a sad situation to see that this woman is this lost. And you know what? Hazel E's not the only woman like this that's lost. There's a lot of women of our community, or that is, with melanin descent or have melanin in their skin, that, are lost, that don't understand different things, that think that it's okay to divide, our community, think it's okay to put down one, particular, portion of a community because of their skin tone and the color of their skin. It's sad. It's just really sad that this day and age in 2017, even though Hazel E is messy, she's in Love and Hip Hop, she's kind of ghetto and all this other stuff. But you know what? There's a lot of people that are ghetto and from the hood that got knowledge and that got wisdom and got understanding of self. They just in a predicament where they live at, and they love where they live at, and sometimes they protect their community and they protect people in their community. So it's just sad to see Hazel E take that road, and it's just sad to see that she might even be in a relationship with someone that's on a down low. So, and if she doesn't know that, Rose Burgundy could possibly or allegedly be bisexual, or gay or whatever, it seems like anybody can pull the wool over her eyes, and she's not a mature young woman yet. It seems like she has a lot of development that she needs to do, and a lot of things that she do need to learn, where it's sad that she's out here on this platform and she's just spewing rhetoric. And so let's get into, she's been fired. So are they gonna try to fire Nene Leakes from Real Housewives of Atlanta? Is that gonna go down? Is that gonna happen? Like, are we gonna see like a big termination of people that with melanin in their skin being terminated from different jobs and different employments because of their free speech, their free will, and what they think? Are they gonna be terminated from their job? Because we also know Nene Leakes said some things that was not culture at all, and she did make her apologies. So, like I said, I think Nene Leakes needs to go on tour with Kevin Hart on the Irresponsible or Inappropriate tour, and do some comedy. Let it all hang out. And so we also talk about Mariah Carey. Her house has been robbed for like 50 grand. And you know what? Most likely Mariah Carey, she has insurance and she has things like that she's covered and she's protected. But damn, how do you get into Mariah Carey's house? How do you get into her house when she got kids? I know Nick Cannon's worried, like, yo, what's good with that? What's going on where people can just break into Mariah Carey's house? And what if she was home? What if her kids was home? But evidently nobody was home. They robbed a premises and took 50 grand worth of stuff, and it's just sad to see. But shit like this happen all the time in different neighborhoods and in the hood, where people just rob you for a pair of Timbs, a pair of Air Force Ones, $50 in your mattress, and a bag of grapes, and some and some ribs, some steak, and some chicken in your freezer, and a bubble coat and a vest, and a shearling in your closet. They'll take you for that. So it's just sad to see that, she got robbed. And then also, somebody tried to steal Kanye West's vehicles and had like a little collision on his property, but they was able to identify the car thief, the carjacker. And because Kanye West and Kim Kardashian had cameras on their estate, so they got pictures and they know who the person is. And so before you know it, he will be locked up. And then it comes in lieu to, Kim Kardashian, supposedly being robbed in London, and why Kanye West called out, Jay-Z, talking about, you didn't even call me when my family got robbed. You didn't even ask me how I was doing, Jay. I know you got hitters. You're going to send your hitters for me? It's just crazy what just be going on today. But you know what? One of the most important things to do is to pay attention to your legislation, what's going on with your councilman, your city councilman, your state representatives, and also your mayors, because this healthcare act that might possibly be thrown out and people lose their insurance, and healthcare will affect people that pay partial health care, and it also will affect the healthcare workers, where they can possibly be losing their jobs because the government or the city, the state won't be taking care of the other half of the cost of having a client at their medical facility. So let's pay attention to what's going on with that, because we got another 3 years of Donald Trump. So we got to pay close attention what's going on in our communities, because sometimes you got to get your state representatives out if they ain't doing right, and they ain't, and they are not abiding by the rules and doing things that is beneficial to your communities. You vote them out. You do you just held rallies to say, hey, listen, let's get together, like the neighborhood watch, get together and get people out of your community that it's not helping your community, that's supposed to represent your community. So make sure that who's ever and your community is representing you, that you're able to talk to them, you're able to call them, you're able to email them, you're able to find out what are their thoughts, how they're going to vote on the new laws and the new legislation that is coming in, especially with healthcare and the healthcare bill, because that is really important. And also, let's get to, we all know that Harvey Weinstein is being faced, like, some people are alleging that he has actually raped them, and there might be some criminal cases coming up against Harvey Weinstein, and hopefully these cases do prevail. And because there's so many different women with so many different stories that are speaking out, that have no wolf or no bone to pick in this, in this race, because, their claims of sexual harassment or abuse or anything else has ran the statute of limitations. So they're speaking out on good faith and goodwill to have other people speak out about the situation. So hopefully, people get involved in that situation to just see what's going on, to see if he's going to get away with the crimes that he committed. And I also wonder, or the playmates, the playmates, the girls that work for, like, what's his name, Hugh Hefner, the females that work for him, are they gonna actually come out and speak out now, since he's also deceased, and also since this stuff has arisen with Harvey Weinstein, are we gonna get some playmates to come out and tell the real story to the media? And will the media accept what they're saying? Because I know on True Life and MTV, there was one playmate that was strung out on methamphetamines, and she was also HIV positive, living out of living out of like a little cheap apartments and things like that. So and it was sad to say. I was like, yo, you was a playmate? You was in the penthouse? You was posted up in the posters and the books or whatever? And she was like, yeah. Like, I didn't ask the questions, but this is what happened. And I also heard there's also another website that I have at home where a lot of women that work for the for Hugh Hefner was forced to have sex with a lot of different males at parties that were given by Hugh Hefner and things like that. And also a conspiracy thought and conspiracy thinking is on YouTube. I can't think of the name, but they also said that before Hugh Hefner was alleged before Hugh Hefner passed away. I mean, before he passed away, he didn't allege passed away. He did pass away. But before he passed away, that he was under investigation for, child porn, things like that, of, trafficking children and porn stuff with kids. That was alleged. I don't know how true it is, but this is what they're saying. They had documents on their site. Would have to go back and find that information. But, that was an alleged story. So I wonder if any of the former playmates will come out and speak up about what they experienced and what they went through, because everyone's trying to send off Hugh Hefner as this great mogul, this great wonderful person, but they don't think there was any abuse going on. They don't think there was any things that wasn't kosher going on with these young women at his Playboy mansion. And people don't think that these playmates were forced to do things that they didn't want to do, or they was going to be hit out on the streets, or they had Stockholm syndrome. So I hope that some of that information does come out to the public, and and we find out. And also, it's like, you gotta stay woke. You really gotta stay woke. And also, like, we still gotta make sure, like, these people in Michigan get the right water. And we gotta test our water. Because how are they still drinking poison water in Michigan? People pay their taxes. If, like Tupac said, you got money for wars, but you can't feed the poor. You can't give the poor right water. Come on. Like, that don't make any sense. So I guess that's what it is. That's how it's going down in 2017. Like, there's some foul shit going on in 2017. All types of claims and shit like that. Then, like, I did talk about RZA, but I didn't really get into great detail about RZA and Azealia Banks, even though I have done a video on Azealia Banks that's in my playlist on what's going on one of my playlists. I did do about her, talking about being white and assimilating to the white culture and using bleaching cream and things like that. But Wu-Tang used to stand for something. Wu-Tang was like the realest dudes out here. That's the way they rap, the way they rhyme, the way they spit lyrics. You know what I mean? So I know women have changed along the way in their endurance and what they have figured out in this Hollywood lifestyle and this industry that they are participating in. But to see that RZA turned a blind eye to Russell Crowe spitting at Azealia Banks like it wasn't nothing, and making her look like she was the bad person, and she was erratic, and she was obnoxious, and she was just total disturbance to the party that was going on at Russell Crowe hotel suite. It sounds like, yo, RZA, like it sounds like it's true what people saying about you, that you changed, that you went Hollywood on people. Because the RZA that I saw on MTV back in the day, the RZA that I saw with Old Dirty Bastard, the RZA that I saw with the Chef, the RZA that I saw with all his bandmates was real, and he kept things in order, and he didn't let fugazi things happen or just fly by him and act like nothing happened. And if it wasn't for Charlamagne pointing out that you was there and forcing you to actually say that Russell Crowe did spat at her, but it didn't get on her, it almost got on you. I believe he spat on her, he spit it on her. And then, Azealia Banks really probably suffered, because I know man never spat at me or spit on me. That's some bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? And then have that happen, and then you look like you're crazy, and then the media and then all these other sites come at you like you dumb, like you crazy, like you a troublemaker, and have all these fugazi stories about you being erratic and wild out. You know what? She probably didn't want to give Russell Crowe some punani, or she didn't bow down to him like he wanted her to, like everybody else does. Because, like I said, Russell Crowe is in the blogs, he's in the blind items list for years of the ill behavior, the ill intent that he has taught women, and the type of sex and things that he liked to do on his own personal time that is very derogatory and very discriminating and very hostile and very pathetic and very awful that he engaged in with women on his spare time, allegedly. On these sites, you can check out Hollywood Street King, and you can check out 7 Days and 7 Nights, and it'll tell you the blind items, and also the Patchy Report blind items will tell you about Russell Crowe. It's crazy. Like, yo. And just to think, like, I don't agree with Azealia Banks on anything, but to think that this happened to her. Imagine someone spitting at you and disrespecting you, and you can't, you don't have the strength and the power to actually really go up against this person. You're on their property, you're on their territory, and then you get kicked out, and then all the stories are negative towards you, and your brother that's supposed to be next to you and melanin and ancestor descent is like, yo, I don't know what's good. I ain't seen nothing happen. And spew negative stories about you as well on Facebook in October 2016. So it's just shady. And it's sad that, RZA went down that road. It's shady. So anyways, I just want to say what's up. What's good to all my peeps out there. I want to say one love. Just talking about a little bit of things that are going on, a little bit of things that are on my mind or whatever. I was listening to Dear Mama by Tupac. I was in there jamming into Tupac. And I was also listening to H-Town. I love Dino. God rest Dino's soul. God rest, Tupac Shakur soul. And I was just like, yo, and I was also listening to Funkadelics, listen to the funk. Who want a funk? I want a funk. Oh my God, I love funk music, because the funk music is the only music that can't be duplicated or imitated at all. You can't take over funk music, baby. No matter. And I was listening to B.B. King as well. So anyways, yeah, I'm still on vacation. I'll be home soon. I just wanted to give an update to my peeps and my peoples, because I was thinking about you. You guys are on my mind. So peace, one love. I'm out. And I'm probably going to go live later on. If not, I'll be on Instagram. I'm going to be posting some of my vacation pictures on Instagram and my hikes. I went apple picking yesterday. It was crazy. Got mad apples. Right now, we're in the process of making apple sauce and apple cider right now, because we got tons and tons of apples. Like, whoa. So anyways, peace, one love to all my real peoples out there. Peace and one love to all my woke people. Peace and love to the people that are going to become woke. I'm out. One love.